Well, hello and welcome back, my Royal Rogues. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Royal Rogue, and tonight we have sort of a mix-up of all the royal and non-royal tidbits that have been making headlines. First of all, we have a lovely image of Prince Philip posted by the royal family to remember his legacy. And what's interesting about the photo is that he has his back turned to us, and even so, he's instantly recognizable. I found that interesting because I have analyzed many pictures of the royal family, but to be fair, not many of Prince Philip. But even so, you know how visuals can pop up on our timeline. Like this one, when I was doing some research about Prince Philip and Queen Elizabeth. It's like looking at a mirror in which you're reminiscing not the past, but an entire life of service. We could say of mutual service because in this case we are talking beyond the figures that they represent in British history, but more about they as a couple, as that sensibility that you always saw in their body language, and as you can see in these pictures, how they looked at each other, no matter at what stage of their journey. And you know my fascination with portraits, and there are two pictures of Prince Philip that I'd like to mention. These two are also separated by many years and a lot of gray hairs, but the serenity was always there. I think that the word that better describes his face expression on both of them is serenity. Now, in the second, the most recent one, you have that unmistakable soft smile of a life well lived. And I also wanted to share this picture of Queen Elizabeth. I don't know if it has been colorized. I think so. But I think it captured her poise perfectly. Well, now it's King Charles who must deal with the speculation of the media, since we got headlines like this. King Charles feels his lack of closeness to Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet acutely and would like to see them as much as possible. This is the kind of headlines that I swear I see every couple months or so. It's like they have these articles on rotation and they republish them every now and then. I know that I have been doing it lately as well with my all royal videos from the Body Language Guy channel, but at least I put a flashback on the title so you know that it's a reposted video. But this comes from that camp who wants Harry back. And I'm not talking about a royal family faction who secretly wishes the Ginger Whinger back into the royal fold, but instead journalists that for some reason still can't grasp the idea that Harry is gone. But he's not really gone if you think about it. He's just overseas, living his best life, and now in his unofficial Commonwealth tour, now hit with brutal warnings, such as the unofficial pronunciation of the Ghana authorities that can be read as thanks, but no thanks. And after all that the Nigeria trip accomplished was confirmed that Harry and Meghan's tour was just some very lousy and very expensive posturing. Because how does that trip benefit their ventures exactly? How does the fake royal trip help them in any way? It's not that I care, it's just that I always want to make sense of things, even if said things come from Montecito House. And speaking of odd decisions, I noticed this post by Dan Wootton. There was fury at Buckingham Palace over Rishi Sunak's D-Day snub. According to Tim Shipman, courtiers pointed out that the king, who is being treated for cancer, was advised not to travel, but was determined to do so, despite being in pain. That says a lot. And of course, reactions did not wait, as in, what do you mean that the king was in pain? Well, others chimed in, pointed out that the treatment for cancer can cause death, which makes it all the more relevant that the king insisted on that travel to honor the veterans, even if Prince William stepped in as well. And that says a lot about their sense of duty. So much so that even James Crawford Smith from Newsweek had to write this headline: Prince William enters his statesman era. I'm sure that many of you disagree with the headline, as in Prince William has joined world leaders before, but maybe this is a more senior leadership. Anyway, the headline fits. And I'm just going to give a passing mention about Rishi Sunak, who is holding the exact same office of Winston Churchill from those years. It seems that Sunak had already notified that he was not going to be for the whole event, even before the general elections were called. But how come the British Prime Minister didn't attend the 80th anniversary of D-Day in France with King Charles? Recollections may vary, but this didn't look good. Now, I'm completely ignorant of current UK politics affairs, so feel free to enlighten me. And speaking of headlines that go round and round until they are more polished than Harry's buns, we got this. Prince Harry searching for UK home as his friends are not visiting due to rifts with Meghan Markle. I would like to know, taking a good look at this, is buying a new home in the UK going to make a difference? Doesn't that sound a bit excessive to you? As in, you need to buy a home in the UK so your friends can visit you there? Is that serious of a problem at home that Meghan cannot allow you one wing of the Montecito mansion to drink a couple pints with the boys? Because that's what these headlines are implying. But you know, whatever makes Harry happy, it's his money. And if you have been watching my recent lives, you know that the Count Duchess has been making his life more miserable than usual. So maybe he needs that break. But since the UK doesn't want him either, why doesn't he buy the home in Nigeria? I know it's a bit far from the UK, but at least he was not booed there. Not that we know, at least. And I'm sure it would not be difficult with his connections where to find solid real estate. As for Meghan, she could come provided she dresses accordingly. And Meghan could also consider taking a trip abroad again, since everywhere she goes, in American newsstands and convenience stores, everyone seems to be cheering Kate. As in Princess Kate, who we know is not the right way to address Catherine, but at least the sentiment is there, and the pictures they pick for the covers are top-notch. A reminder that Catherine still has that solid popularity in the United States. And this comment just made me smile. Prince Louis has some advice for the England Euro 2024 team. Eat twice as much as you normally would. Apparently, William asked his kids what he should say to the team when doing the school run this morning. And that is solid advice. Only that I say that it's solid advice, but I'm not a footballer. But I like food, so I find value and wisdom in Louis' words. Even if a double full English breakfasts, well, that could be a bit too overkill. And one last picture as American war veterans line up to take pictures with Prince William at the D-Day 80th anniversary in Normandy last week. Just wonderful. But Rogues, I would love to know what do you think about this in the comments. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Royal Rogue. And remember, much love and bliss.